Okay, a little video of the side shelves I made in my for my 4Runner to carry some tables, chairs, and a canopy. So on this side we have the table on top. It's an aluminum roll table held in place by a bungee. The bungees are screwed on. I took the aluminum ends off with a couple of vice grips and some elbow grease or wrist grease. Has a little screw, just a screw to hook on at the top. Unhook that and pull it off. And just for stowing that, keeping that out of the way. Similarly, this is a chair, one on either side, and it just hooks. And you gotta lift that a little bit, pull that out. They're a little longer, so that's just a little piece of cord that's wrapped around there to hook. And I put a little keeper screw on top there to make it easier when you're putting it back in. Okay, so the whole thing removes. When it's sitting there, it moves a little bit. With weight, you know, it'll bounce, but it'll take a pretty bumpy road and to make it rattle, and it's not going anywhere. Put it in and out, have to go around to the front, and it utilizes this hook, which is what the back seats hook to when they're up, and it slides in this track of back and forth, and the latch is down here. So 1 second, I need both hands to pull it back. And I just slid it back. So now it's backing out of the way. Takes slight amount of finesse to pull it out, but we just basically lift up on this end and slide it forward and out. So we can see on the bottom, and this is key, there's a block of 2x6, right? And that sits in that little pocket tray on top of the wheel well. Luckily, I was fortunate to have these rubber mat things that go on the bottom, and were perfect for a template. To cut this would be a little harder without a template, or otherwise you'd have to make your own. So this back piece just rests on here, right above the block. No glue, just 2 screws in the 1x-dimensional lumber. And it seems plenty steady. If it falls apart, I'll let you know. The front leg goes all the way down to the floor. The duct, it's Gorilla Tape. I just needed to space it up. To have things tight, things need to be pretty close to exact. So we have a little Gorilla Tape. I use furniture pads in a couple places to add space where I need it and hold things firm, and another one here on the side of that block. But that's kind of figure out as you go. All the corners I mitered, just not so that it doesn't catch things. And this is an oak block. Just I had some oak laying around, and it's harder where that bracket comes down and rests on. So I'll put it back in. It's basically reverse. Slide it in. It's easier with 2 hands. Have to slide under that bracket, and then that block has to be up. And I have the shelves, so I have to fit it in there. Okay, quick second, and I'll latch that down. I didn't actually latch this yet. I just slid it down, and then you pushed the last click. I worked a bit to get this height right, and did some sanding there I cut it just like 60 second 60 second high or something, and then sanded it down to get just the pressure I wanted. There's a little give in that bracket, so you want it firm, but you don't want it, forcing the bracket up. And so you can see, so, it's not in there solid, but this keeps it from going up, and the front keeps it from going down. You can put more pressure there if you wanted to, but we'll see. But it works well. And then these are pretty easy to load. I don't think I can do that one-handed. This I can do one-handed. And you just need to slide that in there and then hook that bungee. But again, one-handed. This comes up high so that aluminum table doesn't slide into the window. On this side, it's a canopy, so I did it slightly different. I cut that bracket low because I want the canopy to squish into the window. And then this just hooks to the coat hook up here. And I made sure that's not very tight, because I don't want it to pull the whole thing up, because, as I said, it can move up. But I drove it 10 miles so far down bumpy country roads around here, and it really didn't bounce at all. They're fine. There's enough pressure. It'll take a lot for them to go forward. I don't know if I'm going to feel like I need to put a stop. If I'm towing the trailer and stop that hard, I probably have bigger things I have to worry about. So I think that's it.